Hi, I'm Arthur King, Art Gallery Coordinator here at Diablo Valley College. Today we're here to talk with painter, instructor, art professor Jane Fisher about her work and her time here at Diablo Valley College. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Arthur.
Hi there. So it looks like you're in your studio. What is that behind you?
That is a painting I'm working on. It is part of my Strongman Follies series. These are the Milosevic's, and it's coming along.
Excellent. It looks like it's come along nicely. Part of, I'm sure, knowing you, it's probably part of a larger series.
Yes, yes. Something I've been kind of toying with for about a year.
Nice to see. Well, since you're in your studio and we're talking about the sort of being creative and working on projects, where did you study? Where did this start at for you?
I studied undergrad at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, go Bobcats, and then I went to graduate school right after at the Art Institute of Chicago in Chicago, Illinois.
Marvelous. So when you started and going to school, what made you want to pursue art as a career?
I came to that decision when I was very young. I was the kid who, whenever anybody would ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would say, I want to be an artist. I didn't really know what that meant. I just knew that I really liked to draw and I like to make stuff. And I was lucky in that my parents were always encouraging of that. And so when I went to college and got, to get a degree in painting, I didn't, I thought maybe I would become an illustrator or something. I wasn't really sure what that would ultimately lead to, but I just always wanted to be an artist, whatever that meant.
Marvelous. Well, as a working artist, what is integral to the work of an artist for you? What is the most important part of being an artist for you?
I think just putting in the time and paying attention to the world around you and just the constant practice. And it never, I mean, sometimes it does feel like a chore, but it's what you do. It's like you get up, you eat, you exercise, and you make stuff. That's what you do as an artist, and you engage with the world and you take it in and it comes out in your work, and it's really just work.
Nice. I like that. So it's art is a job. I like
That's
that.
right.
So describe your studio practice. Can you tell us about, do you have a certain routine or methodology that you use to approach your art making?
um I That's a good question. It's again, it's really just about carving out the time. um, Teaching, when I'm teaching full time, I try to at least have what my husband and I like to call sacred Saturday, which means Saturday is just painting. Anything else, I don't I don't worry about anything else on Saturdays, and as much time as I can carve out during the rest of the week, I try to take advantage of it. But um, lost my train of thought. Arthur, can you edit this part out?
That's okay. Well, just to think about what was your practice?
Studio
How's it
practice.
going?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't really have, I don't, it changes a lot. Depending, one thing I can tell you, I'm not really good about getting up at 5 in the morning and getting into the studio. I'm more of an afternoon, evening worker. That's kind of my routine. And, like I said, just carving out time here and there. I'm lucky in that my studio is the garage to my house, so I can always just run across the patio and I'm in my studio. So there's not a big commute. So even if it's just coming in here to look at something for an hour, or coming in here to work undisturbed for 12 hours, it's just having that space to be able to make stuff.
Yeah, so if your practice, having space is an important part.
Yeah, and I don't have a lot of space. I mean, it's enough for me, and yeah, it's my sanctuary.
Marvelous. Well, and during your art making, has your practice changed over time?
I'd like to think it's gotten better. It's constantly evolving. And I think when I was younger, it was a little more, had a little more anxiety about how things would turn out. And it's definitely, some things have gotten easier and more second nature than when I first started, which is one of the wonderful things about being an artist, or at least a visual artist. As long as you kind of have decent eyesight and retain a certain amount of stamina, it's a lifetime sport. You just get better as you get older, I think.
Wonderful.
I hope so.
Well, in your community of artists or fellow creatives, who are they? Who are the people that you sort of glean to as an artist?
You mean people who I know, who are my friends?
Sure.
Or people out in the art world?
Or people that you find inspiration from?
Inspiration from? Well, a lot of contemporary figurative painters. I see myself primarily as a figurative painter, but I would have to say, to be honest with you, I get the most kind of creative energy from my colleagues and my friends who are artists. And I have a great community. It's not huge, but the Bay Area art scene is pretty small, and I've been here for 25 years, so I've gotten to know a lot of people in the Bay Area art scene, even through social media, and a really wonderful group of really inspiring people who you kind of love hate, because they're so fantastic, but they're also inspiring. My colleagues at DVC are all terrific artists. And I've got this other kind of Chicago community of artists that I'm still in touch with. So I think that, my colleagues, my peers are, the ones who are kind of still hacking away at it, that I really enjoy kind of bouncing ideas off of, or collaborating with even, and just or visiting their studios, talking to them about shows and stuff. So, and there are people that you see at the museums who are kind of up there. I got to see Jenny Saville talk in person a couple of years ago, who's one of the most famous figurative artists. She's English, and she's definitely an inspiration as well. But I wouldn't call her, she's not somebody I can call on the phone and, the chat. I don't know her, but she's part of that art world.
Marvelous.
Larger art world.
Well, in terms of the art world, what role does the artist have in society? How do you see yourself? How do you see the artist in the society in the larger sense?
Well, the artist is everywhere. Anybody who, I think you could walk up to 5 people on the street and 4 out of 5 people, if you ask them, are you an artist? They'll probably say, well, you know what? As a matter of fact, yes, I am. I'm an artist in whatever they happen to do. I'm an artist in the kitchen, or, I'm an artist on the basketball court, or whatever. But I think what you mean is the person who kind of observes, and, because an artist is the person the creative mind who creates everything, who designs everything, and so it's a really broad umbrella term, but I think for those of us who do have a studio practice and teach in the university and kind of a part of the art world, I think our role is maybe just to be open-minded, keep our eyes open, be engaged, reflect, take in, be thoughtful, and know our craft. We're we try to, especially as educators, we're the ones who try to uphold the standards, practice what we preach. What is it called now in academia? You got to eat your own dog food, right? So if I give a student an assignment, it should be something that I'd be willing to do myself, or that I could do myself. So that's a little roundabout there, but the role depends on the person. But I think a society without artists is really, it's impossible. Yeah.
Marvelous, marvelous. Well, can you tell me, what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given, and who gave it to you?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Other than you showing me which button to push when something's going wrong with the projectors in the classroom, let's see. I think there's one, lots of things, little advice here and there. One moment always sticks in my mind because it was such a little thing, and it was something that I just have never forgotten. I think I was probably 14, and I was in a drawing class in my high school. I was lucky to go to a public high school that had a pretty good art program back in the 70s, and we were doing what you do, students modeling for each other, clothes, like, okay, go sit in a chair and other students will draw you, and you take turns doing that. And the teacher walked over to me and looked at my drawing and said, "Oh, you should study figure drawing." And I didn't really know what that meant until a year later. I actually started doing figure drawing at a local college, but that just stuck out at me, like, you should do figure drawing. And I learned what figure drawing was, and then it sort of became like, that's what a real artist does. A real artist can draw the figure, because that's like the hardest thing to do, right? So that just became like, I always knew I wanted to be an artist, whatever that meant, but figure drawing, that was sort of like what set me in that direction. I've been going in that direction ever since. That, and not being afraid of failure. Not failing on purpose, but making mistakes. Don't worry about it. It happens. You learn from it.
Well, in my last thing here in ending, is there anything besides what you just said, which is marvelous, certainly, is there anything you'd like to talk about to the general population of our DVC community?
Well, congratulations for coming to DVC. You've landed in a really good place. I know that we're all online now, but we're still here, and we got a great group of faculty, and I hope that you'll get to have develop some sense of community, even if you're online, getting to know your other students. It's just such a, and before I got my job at DVC, I did the part-time teaching at every school you could imagine. I taught all over the place in Chicago. I taught all over the place in the Bay Area, and the DVC students are just fantastic. It's such a great diverse mix. So I would just say welcome to DVC, and congratulations for making a really good choice of where to take classes and where to pursue your art career.
Marvelous. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Jane Fisher. Thank you very much, Jane, for allowing us into your studio to look at your artwork and listen to you and learn a little bit about your past and your history and how you came to us at DVC. We're really lucky to have you. So thank you very much, Jane.
Thank you, Arthur.
You're welcome.
Really lucky to have our students, and we're really lucky to have you, Arthur King.
Oh, thank you very much. Very kind. All right, guys. We'll see you guys all soon. Bye now.